Hello everybody. So I was working on this thing, just fixing some RF deck problems. Ran into the fact that one of these old MV1Y things is shorted. Got the bias just cranked all the way down just to try to avoid so much saturation of it. But yeah, I got to figure out what to do about that. Recapped it all new caps. Got this mostly going. I gotta work out the buttons and all that. I was working out the receiver's sensitivity at the edges, which is like the bottom end is 25 megahertz, the top end is 30 megahertz. Believe it or not, it works. It just ain't that sensitive. The bottom end seems to be a little bit more sensitive than the top end. I'm sure that's tweakable, but right now it's like a difference of like 10 dB from the top to the bottom, and the lowest signal that it'll receive on the bottom end is like negative 90 dBm, and the top end's like negative 80 dBm, which yeah, ain't that it'll work if people are close together, but you also have to realize too the output power at 25 megahertz does not register. Well, no, it does register. Let's see, how much output are we getting? I'm dumping it into my signal generator and it tripped. Let's try this again. Oh, I'm on channel 20. Okay, 25 megahertz. You can see we've got the needle barely moves, just barely. Our watt meter, I mean, it's like way under a watt, but it's enough, you know, to make the frequency counter measure it. 6 hertz out. Hasn't been, nothing's, this radio hasn't been aligned, so I mean it is what it is. So 25.1. The reason I'm not saying 25 is because at 25 I've got the signal from the crystal oscillator in here, which is running at 25 megahertz, and there's some leakage. Putting the can on this doesn't really make much difference. You know, see, I'm putting the cover on, and it's not changing anything. It's leaking through there. So yeah, not a whole lot, if anything. I'm sure it's making a difference, but it's so small it's not immeasurable. So anyways, that's the bottom end. Top end at 30 megahertz, again, just barely moves the needle. We're on the counter, you know, we're out, but we ain't out that much. It's not bad for not having this oscillator calibrated. So I did do this one, so I know that this one's, you know, within like 2 hertz or something like that. It's got to be the 7.8 that's out a little bit. That said, that's basically it. Now, of course, on like channel 20, you know, we have, you know, good output. Well, we have as good of output as we're going to get with this, you know, screwed up, which is about 3.5 watts tops. I think these guys took a beating, and they probably need to be replaced, especially with what the inductor got smoked, and this is shorted, and had a bad cap in here, had some glue, you know, and you end up with stuff like this, you know, where you got the glue chunks underneath the caps, and yeah, you end up with problems. I did replace some caps initially, and there's the rest. You know, so a lot of the little guys I just didn't do. So everything's been replaced. The only one that hasn't been replaced is that one down there, and that's because I really don't keep caps that big. So I need to get one of those. I need to figure out this MV1Y situation. I tried to put a 4148 across it, well, in its place, and it didn't really do a whole lot. So I need to work out what's going on with that bias. I mean, it's working now, hence why it's just cranked all the way down. It's just saturating. So, that said, that's basically it. So the only thing I have to do now is work out some physical dimensions of this board. That USB jack's in a decidedly inconvenient place. I thought it would be okay there. It's not. That's going to get changed to a vertical one stuffed inside. So you'll have to pull a can off to plug in to reflash. That's no big deal. So, you know, it's all right. We've got some bits to work out here, but nothing too major. Radio needs an alignment. You know, it's doing pretty good. If it's, you know, we're doing, you know, a negative 90, you know, negative 80 and negative 90 dBm at 25 and 30 megahertz. Radio's doing pretty good. It's much more sensitive than that, obviously, at 27 megahertz. It's, you know, negative, I don't know, negative in the hundreds. I can't recall where exactly. It's pretty good though. So that said, I mean, that's basically all there is to show. I had to work this out because that's what that was. That was a channel selector, obviously, in the display. Not required. So I'm gonna work out something to put in here. You know, like maybe a 3-segment display or something like that to show something. I've got some little displays, but I don't think I could get them to fit in there. I don't see any of them handy. And the three segment or 3 to 7 segment displays I've got like these. You know, so I figured something like that, but bigger. Dropping things all over the place. No, I don't know where they're at. So I'm trying to do this one-handed. It always works well. No, I don't know where they're at. They're around here somewhere. I'm talking about as a little LCD that you know, to fit in there. And yeah, is it in this box? No, not in this box either. I don't know. I have to find it. A box display somewhere, but. If I put a little if I put some 7 segments, maybe an alpha in there, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it if I put a display in there because everything's over there. So what do you do with this? I need to get a shorter encoder. That sticks out too far. You know, it's probably a mounting thing because this has a button. Obviously, it changes the step. You hold it in. You know, it'll change. So, you know, all that works a treat. So, I don't know. And I don't know what to do with this either. You know, this dual control's still here. Whether or not to put an encoder here, just leave it alone. I don't know what to do with it. It's kind of pointless when you have this. I'm thinking about maybe split transmit receive on 2 different frequencies, which is definitely doable. You want to receive on one and transmit on the other, we just detect. Got that software glitch. That's actually because of how that string is built and sent to the display. It's a stupid software glitch, but I'll fix that. You know, I just don't know what to do with this. This is fine. You know, working the way it is. I was thinking about making this a fixed 1 hertz, 1 or 10 hertz, so that you can select, well, which one of them, maybe put a second arrow there to denote which one of them this changes, so that you can, you know, do a fine tune and just have this one as a course. But I don't know. You know, by all means, feel free to suggest. You know, noise toys maybe in here. You know, there's a built-in toy into this thing now, which is just the Roger squeals, which these buttons don't work right. You know, they're not working right. I've got to sort that out. See, it just goes to 1. It's just something. It's the electrical connections, you know, on these boards back here. I need to work out. They just need to be pulled completely apart, and whatever's done. This is clearly working just fine. And that was because in the original counter module, they just had a dedicated wafer position on this wafer for the original counter module. So I can determine what mode we're in just by looking at the exact same modes that are on that switch as we did with the as the original module did. So you know, that obviously works just fine. So not sure that the mode is necessary up there, but you know, you also have the indication here, which was on the original lens. You know, so you had the AM, the lower sideband, and the upper sideband in the window, and of course receive transmit. So not sure what to do with that one. It's sort of a window into the radio. You won't be able to see much with the covers on, but still, you know, to fix that bias, you know, this is one of the mods that needed to be done. I had to pull these 2 wires off the board, join them together so that I could detect power on and off, which that also does work. Basically what I'm doing here is the microcontroller detects voltage present on the negative of the radio itself, which means if you measured from like this can here, this crystal, which is, you know, strapped to this this transformer, you know, and measured it in relation to the ground that's over here, and just pulled the power out of the damn module. Nice going. And you measured from here to here, you're gonna get, you know, the 13.5 volts, the power supply. You're gonna measure that, but the radio will be off. So in other words, this is this is basically the, you know, switching the negative. This floats. So what I'm doing here is I'm looking for the presence of voltage on the radio on the negative rail, you know, because it's basically not connected. And when I see that, I know that the radio is off, and of course power down the microcontroller. Basically just put it into sleep. And when it goes to sleep, it blanks the display, closes the display, basically holds the display in reset. I haven't really figured out if there's a way to tell this LCD module to like go to sleep. So what I just do now is I just blank it and hold it in reset. So of course when you bring the radio back up, it, you know, just redraws the entire display, comes out of reset. So that's why when you can see you have that like weird glitch going on there, when you power it off and you power it back on, it's not there anymore because the display was completely redrawn. So it's just one of those little software glitches. Other than that, I really need to figure this out. So if anybody has any tips on the MV1Y situation, that would be great. I'm not sure if this is some kind of it's not a thermistor or anything like that. It seems to be a varistor maybe. Schematic has it as a diode. I know why it's there. I know it has. I know that it's. We got an active bias, so we had a transistor and a, you know, cap and a pot and everything like that to do the biasing for the final. But the driver has pretty much consists of this cap, this pop, this varistor. I believe it's a varistor. You know, and that's pretty much it. So, you know, right now it's, even though it's all the way down, it's pegged out. You know, there's just too much. But it works. But I have a sneaking suspicion that because it was the way it was, it's pretty much that's a I think it's a 2166. I can't really read it. I know it's not a 1306 because, you know, you can just tell. No, that's a 2166. So I just need to put a 2166 in it. And I I bet I'll get the rest of my power. I don't think this has ever been replaced. You can just tell about how the way they originally did it, you know, with the paste. I don't think these have been replaced. They don't even look like they've been soldered on, so I'm pretty sure these are originals. So, you know, I just need to pull out. This is my culprit. I need to pull that 2166 out. Transistor, or the heatsink is actually a little warm, and I have a feeling it's because there's just that bias is just screwed up, and I'm not transmitting on. Now this side is cool as a cucumber. You know, the radio's been open. This, however, is not. This is a little warm. Let's measure. 95, 35 and a half C for the metric people like me. You know, 33, yeah, 33 degrees. You know, there's some hot points in there. You know, there's some warm bits. So, you know, the where's the where was that hot spot? Roundabout. I don't know. I know there was a hot spot in there. I felt it, so I knew it was there. So yeah, I know there's a hot spot back there because I felt it. So I just assume that it's this bias circuit's all screwed up, but it is working minimally. Of course, I had to flatten all these coils back out and try to undo as much as possible the golden screwdriver stuff, and you know, move on. So that's basically it. Another day, another update. Some tips on that would be nice. Some tips on what I could do with these buttons again. Toys, you know. But I got all these buttons just to figure out what to do with them. I've only got this one doing this, and this one I was going to use for the Roger squeals. Pretty much just to have 3 built in and just pick which one of them you wanted by pushing the button. But these ones, you know, that pretty much, I don't know, I've got them mapped wrong. I've got those clearly coded wrong, because that was intended for here. So no, I actually did. That's right, because if I did it this way, I would have had no way to turn it off. So I forget what I was going to do with these. You know, to select between the toys, and this was going to be to whichever one of these you wanted. But I didn't know if you pushed 2 of them at the same time, what was going to happen. And yeah, I don't know. Got to figure it out, and then take out these switches, which I don't like the position of these switches, but the mod, incidentally, that was done. Now, whoever did this, at least they did this neatly, cleanly. I can't complain about this. This is not what I would typically see from the golden screwdriver community. This is neat and clean. You know, and everything's bundled nicely, and the soldering is good, and the track cutting was clean, and you know, whoever did this actually, you know, they had a clue. So I don't mind that at all. But it's still gonna come out. So that's basically it, guys. Hope you like it, and you know, I'll, you know, do another one, you know, in response to whatever questions I get from this one. So catch you later.